Welcome to the all tasks airship tutorial. We're in the Cliffnotes where we kind of touch on some things that we didn't talk about in the run, some other things to be thinking about. The first thing I want to talk about here is what do I mean by a bad maze, right? Because this electrical turns into a little bit of a maze. There's always a way out. But at the end, right, at the very end of the run, we come down this ladder and we try to get down to the uploads here. We're trying to get down to these uploads here. But as you'll notice in this case, I don't have a straight way through. I have to run around here to get to that. So that's going to lose time. Now, if you're wanting to just take that time loss, you can. But there is an alternative route that you can do that is a second slower than if this is open, but will be faster if you can't get straight out of electrical. If you have to do any winding through electrical, even this one, which is the shortest amount of extra winding you do, it is still faster to do the other route. So, what is that route, you say? Well, when you come through electrical the first time, first of all, you want to see, can I get out? Like, is this open? If this door is open, you're always going to be able to get out. If this door is closed, is this door open? If neither things are true, then you know you've got a bad one. So, if I were to come in here on this, I would go this. I would check this one first, then this one, and I'd be looking. I still can't quite see yet. Then I check this one. Now I can see that I can't get out, and I'm ready for the next task. So after you've done all the stuff in electrical and check the diverts, the calibrate distributor, you come in, you do the rewind tapes here, you run off this way, and here, if you decide you're going to try the alternative route, don't go to the download here in viewing deck. You actually want to ignore that for now, and you're going to come straight up to do burger, and you're gonna just skip that for now. And then you're gonna trash, and you're gonna go through army, and you're gonna do all of this kind of the normal way. And then at the very end of the run, we are not gonna take that ladder and go down to electrical. Instead, we just did the vent fans with that code that we had to remember the whole time. We do our black box here. We've got this divert that's through the wall, and then we're gonna go back to the left here. We're going to run through engine room. This seems slower, I know. And it is a second slower if you can get right through electrical. But we can't in this case. So we're going to come, then we're going to do this download here because we never did it. And we have a second viewing deck. You can do all 10 uploads here as well. So again, that's a second slower. And the reason it's only a second slower is because you saved all the time that you ran in here to do the download and ran out. So that's really the most key thing is to check that. I actually myself will just, in airship runs, will just straight up reset because I don't want to mess up I'm willing to, unless it's like a stupid godly good electrical, I'm normally going to just reset if I get this alternative route. But it's another thing to use. It's a thing to use, especially if you're in a no reset race, if you can remember it. I would probably, especially with the small amount of time loss here, just do that. So I got a couple more things to show you, so I'm going to cut ahead to those. Alright, the next thing I'm going to talk about is what the records task looks like if you can't do it. Or let's say you're doing a race, you're allowed to do it on the old version, but you're just not getting that top one. So we'll open this up here. Perfect. So you'll notice with these ones there's just a book, and you just want to tap in the gap and then exit as soon as you can. Let's say you're in a new version where they've patched the records glitch. You're just going to come in, open it right away, and exit right away. Trying to use the mouse here, but of course very slow because I don't use mouse. You'll notice with these ones, you can be a little more to the side. With these ones, you do have to kind of be on it. Bottom two, you can kind of make it work about right there. And last one here. Of course, now with this, it's going to be fastest if you're doing an all-task run if you happen to get this one last, because then you go right to the download. But that's how you do the records. There's one last thing I want to show you here is, again, if you're using a newer version, there's this trash here that we did not do in our run, but this is a real trash in the newer runs. So you could get this trash here if you're doing an all-task run on a newer version, and this trash here. And that will mean you do 5 trashes in a row in meeting room instead of 3. So those are just a couple other things to think about. At this point, I've covered everything I can think of in Airship, so I hope you enjoyed the series. There will be 2 more videos coming out, a 3 maps video where we talk about some specific strats with the 3 maps run, and is the same thing with an all maps run. And then of course, if anything is ever new, just everything new is ever discovered, I will remake and replace these videos. But for now, that's the end of the all test tutorial for the individual maps. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you for the multi-map recaps.